Spoiler warning for The Last of Us Part 1 and 2. The Last of Us is one of the best story, narrative-driven games in PlayStation's history. Released all the way back in 2013, this game took the internet by storm. Naughty Dog made us fall in love with these characters by creating that emotional attachment and understanding. Especially with Joel, we saw a glimpse of what his life was like before the apocalypse, how important his daughter Sarah was to him, and very quickly we saw how he lost all hope in life, people, and himself. And by the end of the game, you see a complete change in both characters, especially Joel, and how their relationship developed from two distant strangers into a father and daughter. And this is what fans fell in love with. With fans begging for a sequel, we had to wait 7 years for probably the most anticipated sequel in PlayStation's history. And this is where we saw the fans divide like anything I've seen in gaming history.
What the
What they have done to this story, what they have done to the characters.
If you're a fan of the first game, you won't enjoy this game.
I'm keeping an open mind. If it's bad, then it's bad, and I'll call it out. And if I think that it's actually, that they still executed on it very well, and that it, in the end, did make sense, or that I think it's a cool direction they took it in, then I'm gonna speak up about that too, you know what I mean?
This game.
At the end of the day, I still gotta see it with my own eyes.
And then it really got me thinking, no matter what you think about The Last of Us Part 2, there's one thing we can agree on. This divided the fan base like anything we've seen. And we're gonna find out why. We quickly find out how Joel managed to survive 20 years in this dark apocalyptic world. He loses his daughter very early on, and we see how this ripped his heart in two.
Listen to me, I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on.
Throughout the game, we quickly see how cautious Joel is, how clever he is, and how he only wants to take on jobs that he absolutely has to. He shows this when he's with Tess, when he thinks it isn't a good idea to take on this job with Ellie, because he really does think about every move before he does it.
You could just take her to the North Tunnel and wait for me there.
Jesus Christ.
Just cargo, Joel.
What are we doing here? This is not us.
We notice early on in the game that the only real person that he trusts is Tess. And it's hard to know how long they've been together or known each other, but he trusts her. Even though he cares for her so much, he never really fully opens up to her. Now, when he finds out that Tess is bitten, you can tell he's absolutely broken. He kind of blocks out those emotions. To some degree, Tess knows the dangers of this world, and Joel even says he can try and fight, but she knows there's no helping her, and you could just see the pain in both their eyes, especially Joel, knowing that it's just the way the world is.
Yes.
There's no way that...
I will not turn into one of those things. No, just go.
Joel blocks out any emotion to the death of Tess, and pretty much after Ellie tries to bring it up, he quickly shuts her down. And a bit later, she brings it up once more and says she'll never bring it up again.
You don't bring up Tess. Ever.
And for the whole game, Tess is never brought up ever again. One of the scenes shows us how clever Joel is and how much he knows about this world, and it's evident when he's with Ellie.
Easy.
Please.
Holy shit. Help. Are we gonna help him?
Put your seatbelt on, Ellie.
Well, what about the guy?
He ain't even hurt.
He even admits to Ellie he's done bad things. He's been on both sides, and as the player we know Joel isn't a good person. He knows it himself, but we sympathize with him. And throughout the whole game, Joel acts with instinct and clever planning. Numerous occasions he thinks Ellie shouldn't have a gun, but then realizes because she can handle herself and she even saves him, he knows they've got a better chance of surviving if she has a gun. As they start spending more and more time together, they start to bond. He opens up about seeing a movie before the apocalypse. He explains that it's a teen movie, and she even asks, why are you going to a teen movie? Who did you go with? And he quickly shuts off the conversation.
Dumb teen movie.
Who dragged you to see it, though?
I don't know. Let's just stay focused, all right?
For me, I think the turning point with Joel and Ellie is when they meet Henry and Sam. He nearly kills Henry, and it's only when Ellie tries to convince him that they should all go together. Even then, he's not too sure whether that's a good idea, because that's how paranoid he is.
Man, you hit hard.
Well, I was trying to kill you.
We can help each other.
Ellie.
Safety in numbers and all that.
She's right.
could help each other.
Just as they're getting along, another heartbreaking moment where it brings Joel back to reality is where we find out that Sam is infected and he tries to kill Ellie, and Henry does the most heartbreaking thing.
What the hell? Shit, he's turning! That's my fucking brother! Henry. What have you done? I'm gonna get that gun from you, okay? Oh, okay, easy. It's your fault. This is nobody's fault, Henry. It's all your fault! Henry! Henry, no!
Oh my god.
He eventually finds Tommy because his goal is to pass Ellie over to Tommy because he truly doesn't believe he can look after Ellie. He doesn't trust himself. He always thinks that he's going to fail, just like with Sarah. Even though Tommy is reluctant, when he sees Joel's reaction after they defeat the hunters that broke into the camp, he realizes Joel has found someone he truly cares about like a daughter. That's why I think we see this reaction from Tommy.
Slow down. Listen, hey, are you hurt?
No.
God damn it. I need to talk to you.
We don't know what Tommy and Joel went through during that 20 years, apart from when Tommy explains that it was horrible, the things Joel had to do, and he says, I did that because we had to survive. But there is so much story to tell from those 20 years.
That's how you gonna repay me, huh?
Repay you?
For all those goddamn years I took care of us.
Took care. That's what you call it? I got nothing but nightmares from those years.
You survived because of me.
It wasn't worth it.
Ellie gets annoyed and runs off, and she gets pissed because everyone in her life runs off. And it's another heartbreaking moment because she really opens up to Joel, and she even confronts him about his daughter Sarah, and it's probably the first time in 20 years that he's actually confronted it.
Well, we seem to be doing all right so far.
And now you'll be doing even better with Tommy.
Not her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
Not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad.
I think from that point, hearing what Ellie had to say to him, it made him realize that he does care for Ellie. And I'm not going to run away from that responsibility. Even though he still probably doesn't trust himself, he thinks, no, I'm going to take responsibility. This is such a turning point in the game, and I didn't have any tears in my eyes. They go through so much together, even when Joel brutally gets injured with that pole through his damn stomach, and it's probably the first time that someone has saved Joel. Ellie takes responsibility, she nurtures him, and gets him back to health. And it's the first time that's probably someone's looked out for him. And when she gets kidnapped and he's up and running, we actually see what Joel is like. This is kind of like an indication of what he was like during that 20 years, because he goes brutal. He shows us what Killer Joel looks like, and it's freaking incredible.
Is she alive?
What girl? I don't know no girl. Fuck!
Focus right here. Now you're gonna mark it on the map. And it better be the same exact spot your buddy points to. Mark it.
You can verify it. Go ask him.
I ain't telling you shit.
That's all right. I believe him.
No, wait!
He manages to get to Ellie after she kills David. And again, this is the moment where Joel absolutely loves Ellie like a daughter. The way he saves her, that would probably make her go mental if she was on her own. And Joel gave her that security.
Oh, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay.
Joel.
Fast forward to the end of the game, he gets her to the Fireflies, and there is a chance for a cure, but it's not 100% of what I understand. And Joel's come to the realization that he's gonna lose her. At this point, I want to know what you guys think, because this is where Joel really thinks about, wow, I'm gonna let her die. I'm going to lose another daughter, and it's out of my hands.
The doctors tell me cordyceps, the growth inside her, is somehow mutated. It's why she's immune. Once they remove it, they'll be able to reverse engineer a vaccine.
But it grows goes all over the brain.
I think he's justified in his actions because he realizes I am in control. I'm not letting someone take Ellie away from me, especially because it can be avoided. He ends up killing the NPC or the head surgeon, which becomes very important in Last of Us Part 2. And he tries to get rid of every evidence, even killing Marlene.
Wait! Let me go.
You just come after her.
They go back to Jackson and it's left on the cliffhanger. Yes, he lies to her. She asks him, please tell me everything you're saying is true. And it ends, and it's a beautiful ending. One that you want a sequel, but at the same time, if there wasn't, you would kind of be happy of how it ended. Now, I wish it was. In this game, we see so many sides to Joel. A complete 360 from when he was broken when losing his daughter, surviving 20 years, losing his partner, friends, and we saw a redemption arc with Joel. Even when the worst thing happens to you and you have to do questionable things to survive, there's always a reason to have hope. There's always a reason to carry on. And that's when we fast forward to 7 years later to The Last of Us Part 2. Naughty Dog's first game was a global success and there was a fan base there waiting to see what this beloved sequel would bring. This is where it became mad.
What the hell did you think when you actually wrote this game?
This game can kiss my ass.
Once I saw some of the stuff, I was like...
After certain things happening, are you nuts?
It's just really crazy to see such a prestigious studio get tarnished.
Now, there are two ways of looking at this, and I'll explain a bit more in a bit. From the fans' point of view, like myself, who has played this game for over 300 hours on PS3 and PS4, Joel has been a part of my 20s, and he's easily in my top 5 best characters from PlayStation. So you would think that Naughty Dog would create their sequel having their fan base in mind. With all the marketing material, I thought alongside others that we were getting another adventure with Joel and Ellie. The trailers hinted massively that Ellie would get with Dina, and then she would probably be murdered. Well, that's what we saw from that early gameplay trailer. Future trailers only solidified our view on what this game would be about. That reveal trailer where Joel walks in asking if she was going to go through with it, and also the other one that pretty much confirmed that, wow, this is going to be another adventure with Joel and Ellie, even though the trailer was a lie.
What the hell are you doing here?
You think I'd let you do this on your own?
What the hell are you doing here?
I think I'd let you do this on your own.
And it's not that I'm upset that Joel died. Of course, I even expected it in the game and probably would have been okay with it. Yes, it would have been emotional, but it's the way that he died and the way Naughty Dog tricked us into thinking this was going to be one game and it is something completely different. There were other questions going into this game that baffled me because I thought these questions weren't even answered. Where did the virus originate from? Why was Ellie so special and why was she immune? Was there a potential cure or a vaccine because of Ellie that could be reverse engineered? Would we really get Joel confronting Ellie and explaining why he did what he did? We got a brief moment with Joel and Ellie where he does confront her, or she confronts him and understands that he did lie. But what confused me the most is that Joel doesn't even have a chance to explain. He doesn't actually explain why he did it. The only bit we got was near the end of the game after he died, where we realize after a certain amount of time Ellie goes to him and pretty much says that she wants to start again and rebuild their relationship. But that is all we got. But at the start of the game, you think this will be the focus because it starts off with Joel explaining to Tommy what he did and what happened.
Jesus Christ, Joel.
I saved her. I told her. Her immunity meant nothing.
All of a sudden, Abby comes on screen, and I remember thinking, who the hell is this damn woman? And why is her arm so damn big in this post-apocalyptic world where protein and food is going to be very, very low, and also certain medicines that she probably wouldn't have access to? I was very confused, but I was like, okay, maybe it's just building me up to play as Joel. Joel ends up saving her, and I remember the first time he came on screen, I was like, yes, the hero has arrived. Oh, yes. Let's go. So they escape to her camp where she says there's a safe place to go as they were kind of surrounded with zombies. And this is where Joel and Tommy seemed very out of character because we're only basing what they're like from the first game. So they go into a room full of random people that seem very, very off. Joel and Tommy just give out every detail out of the book. And I know there's two ways of looking at this, but we will get to that. They give out their whole names, where they live, what they do, you know, shoe size. We're assuming they are similar to what they were in the first game, and this is where it all kicks off. Now, if we're going by the first game, which I think we should, because that is what his character is like, it just seems very out of character that Joel has absolutely no idea that these people in this random hideout might be a slight threat towards them. It's very confusing that Tommy and Joel were that stupid. Like, even if it was one of them, surely you would think the other one would be like, listen man, we kind of just got to kind of keep it cool here. And we're going by what they were like in the first game, and that's why it seemed very out of character. On the other hand, a lot of people say, listen, because he's been living in Jackson, he's become a lot softer. Over the years, he's let his guard down, he's a changed person. I would love to have seen what Joel was like during that time in Jackson. How did he become? It would have been great to see the change of personality. This bit just seemed very, very coincidental, out of the blue, and just lazy writing.
Y'all like you heard of us or something.
Because they have.
Nora, all clear?
He's out. Put him against the wall.
The immediate reaction after Abby did that to Joel, one of the best characters in PlayStation's history, one of the fans' favorite character, immediately you hate her. If you're a massive fan of Joel, you would absolutely want revenge. I remember the anger in my eyes. I want to play this game to get my revenge on this motherfucking. We don't know who Abby is. We don't know anything about her. This is our first impressions of her. We don't know why she did it and what were her motivations. Our immediate first impressions is we want to kill her. This is what Naughty Dog made us feel. For lovers of the franchise and the characters, they wanted us to feel this way. I have a theory of partly why this game is so split, and I want to ask you guys, did you play this game all the way back on the PS3? If you did, and you played this game all the way back then like me, and you played it multiple times over the years, which I did, you end up loving Joel more and more. Massive fans of the original game who have played it so many times will hate this game and hate Abby for what she did. But are you someone, if they love the story, are you someone who played the game right before the second one came out? With Abby, there was another way for us to be able to sympathize with her later on in the game. Throughout the rest of the game, you play as Abby, but also Naughty Dog and the writers try to get us to feel sorry for Abby, to try and see things from her point of view. And the problem with this is, because of that first scene, we haven't built an emotional connection to Abby, and all we want to do is kill her. And now it feels like they're trying to do the impossible by trying to convince hardcore fans from the first one that she had her reasons to doing this. And we don't know till later on in the game that it was because of her father. It's because Joel killed her father. And the problem is, if you couldn't get to grips with Abby, you just wanted that payoff at the end of the game. And even then, you do not get that payoff, which makes you think, why the hell did I play this game? Now, what they could have done is built up Abby's character from the start. Maybe from the start of the game, she came into Jackson. She was accepted by the other residents. Maybe she even interacted with Joel and they built that relationship. And then maybe we would have been like, okay, she's actually a decent character. And maybe after that, she finds out that Joel is the one who killed her father. And now she's in a predicament where she's built a relationship with him. She didn't realize it was him. And now she's not sure what to do. This for me would have made us understand, wow, he killed her dad. I get it. And also she's not a bad person. So then that might have made that scene a little bit more understanding. And if they did that, maybe before she started playing golf, we would have been more sympathetic towards her. Damn it! I think this is really what we needed, especially for fans of the first game. Instead, they gave us scenes like her petting dogs. Ellie killed the dog that we were petting with and, you know, we were playing catch with, and it just didn't work. It just felt very, very forced because I didn't care about this character. They even had flashbacks with her father, and because we didn't have that at the start, I felt absolutely nothing. All I knew is at the start is that this random character just killed one of the best characters in PlayStation's history, and all I want to do is kill her. So even though those flashbacks happened, I didn't have that emotional connection with Abby or her dad. You gotta remember, he was an NPC and he looked Mexican. I really think that's what Naughty Dog were trying to do, because then we had that scene where we have to fight Ellie, and I remember shouting at the screen and thinking, why the hell? I just want Ellie to kill her. It was clear at this point in the game, this was supposed to be the turning point where we realized nobody is good in this world and that Abby is justified in her action. Ellie killed so many people in the game to get to that end goal. We killed hundreds of people to get to the end game, to kill that person that killed Ellie's dad. She lost Jesse in an instant, which again, another reason to kill Abby, and he was absolutely butchered. Tommy nearly dies and becomes disabled. No idea how he survived that. At the end of the game, she's looking after her baby with Dina, or Dina and Jesse's baby, and I would have been happy that the game ended here. I would have been like, at least Ellie is alive, she's got Dina, she's got a baby, and I think I would have come to terms with, wow, this is not the ending I wanted. But then for my surprise, she goes again for revenge and leaves Dina. I was super shocked that, oh whoa, the pacing just seems all off, but okay, finally we're gonna kill her and we're gonna get that payoff. No. We have this epic fight with Abby, and even though if we didn't go, Abby would have died because we took her down off the cross, that makes it even more frustrating because if we didn't go, she would have died. When Ellie didn't kill Abby, this seemed very, very weird. So out of character because it's just very coincidental that at the very last moment, you've killed hundreds of people and you get to the last person who's killed Joel and Jesse and ruined a lot of people's lives and you just can't do it. The game ends on a very depressive note, and for a fan of the series, there was no payoff in this game. It's like Naughty Dog at the end wanted to say, listen, killing is bad. See, it's not the answer. On the other hand, you could look at it like at the very last moment, Ellie thought she would get satisfaction out of killing Abby, but maybe at that moment she thought, you know what, nothing was going to bring Joel back. You had the flashbacks as she was trying to kill her, realizing that Joel was never coming back. Maybe that's the reason why she didn't go through with it. I'm not sure, but maybe that's what she thought. Just imagine telling Tommy going back and being like, yeah, no, I was going to kill her at the very last minute. Yeah, but I didn't. Now, with The Last of Us Part 2, I'm not really sure who Naughty Dog were making this game for. It wasn't for the fans of the original one. My biggest response to when people say you're upset because Joel died, it's not that. I expected him to die in this game. It's just the way that he died. Could you have done it in another way, like a hero's departure, or a way that felt a lot more meaningful and believable? If we got an emotional response from Joel's death, something like when Tess died, maybe when Henry and Sam died, where we were absolutely shocked, but it was believable and we were like, wow, this world is absolutely brutal. Maybe it could have been something like that where we had that same emotional response. But more importantly, away from the story and the characters, what about the virus? What about Ellie's immunity? We absolutely got nothing from this game. The virus and the outbreak. None of these were answered and it just felt like a missed opportunity. Unless it depends where they go with The Last of Us Part 3. Will there be a Last of Us Part 3? We believe there will be. Would it be Ellie again? Where does she go from here? I'm a bit conflicted on where they go with the story because the fans are so divided. Will Abby be a part of it? Could we have a prequel with Tommy and Joel? We have 20 years of stories to dive into potentially. No matter what side you are with The Last of Us Part 2, I want to know your absolute true thoughts about these two games. I know we haven't dived into the gameplay and the graphics of this game. In terms of the graphics and the gameplay and the combat, wow, it isn't short of a masterpiece. So make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know. Well, let's take a look at the comment of the day from my previous video. Prince of Persia is Ubisoft's best game, and it's not open world. Shout out to Jawad. I'm so glad that you're enjoying it. I usually like Metroidvania type games, but I also wasn't too sure about Prince of Persia as my past experience with Ubisoft hasn't been that great lately. But the demo was so good that I decided to give it a try. I'm not disappointed at all. I've played almost 4 to 5 hours and can't wait to get back from work to play it more. If you enjoyed this title, then I'd highly recommend you give Celeste and Ori series a try. You might enjoy them too. Thanks for the comment, my man, and I'm absolutely enjoying Prince of Persia. It is so damn hard. The amount of times I've died from bosses, it's taken me probably 40 minutes, but it's so satisfying because I know it's because of me. It's such a nice change of pace playing a game like this. It just breaks up all of those bigger games a lot better. And also, I've got Ori on my Switch. I've played a little bit, haven't played a lot. Man, I need to get back to my Switch. It's nice to play these smaller games from time to time. Anyways, next video will be all about Suicide Squad, so make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.